Loquacious. Adjective. Talking a great deal. The loquacious tour guide filled every hallway with stories, but the best moments came when she finally paused and let the old marble atrium speak for itself. Rudimentary. Adjective. Basic and not yet fully developed. Their first aid kit was rudimentary, so they stocked it carefully before the trek, adding bandages, antiseptic, and a simple guide they actually read. Commensurate. Adjective. Matching in scale or degree. The pay was commensurate with the work, modest, but the hours were honest. Incidental. Adjective. Minor, a side part of something larger. The torn map was incidental. They found the cabin by the smell of wood smoke. Relentless. Adjective. Never stopping or slowing. The river was relentless against the rocks, wearing them smooth over years. Consolidate. Verb. To combine separate parts into a single whole. She consolidated 3 shoeboxes of letters into one cedar chest. Admonish. Verb. To warn firmly because someone did wrong. She admonished the puppy softly when it dug under the fence toward the chickens. Exhort. Verb. To strongly encourage someone to do something. The coach did not shout, but he did exhort the team to stay disciplined, reminding them that focus matters most when legs grow tired. Litigate. Verb. To take a dispute to a court of law. They chose to litigate rather than settle, and the legal fees climbed within weeks. Ostracize. Verb. To exclude someone from a group or society on purpose. After the scandal, colleagues ostracized him in the hallway, eyes sliding past his face. Desultory. Adjective. Jumping from one thing to another without steady focus or plan. They made desultory conversation about sports until the real news landed. Diffuse. Adjective. Spread out and not concentrated in one place. A diffuse glow filled the kitchen at dawn, and the quiet light made even the cluttered counter look gentle and orderly. Inhibit. Verb. To prevent or slow down a process or action. The cold snap inhibited the buds. For a week the branches stayed bare and taut, as if the orchard were holding its breath. Redolent. Adjective. Strongly suggestive of something by smell or association. The kitchen was redolent of garlic and rosemary when guests arrived with chilled wine. Adhere. Verb. To stick to a rule, plan, or surface. If you adhere to the marked trail, you stay above the cliff edge. Safeguard. Verb. To protect from harm or loss. She safeguarded the letters in a tin box under the bed. Clandestine. Adjective. Kept secret, often to avoid detection. They held a clandestine rehearsal in the back room. Lights dimmed and windows covered because the surprise performance depended on no one leaking the plan. Apprehensive. Adjective. Worried that something may go wrong. She was apprehensive before the audition, smoothing her skirt with damp palms while the muffled music behind the door sounded confident and far away. Derivative. Adjective. Imitative, adding little that is new. The painting felt derivative of a famous sunset, though the brushwork showed real patience. Germane. Adjective. Directly relevant to what is being discussed. Her question was germane. It pointed to the loose stare everyone else had ignored. Didactic. Adjective. Intended to teach, often in a moralizing or lecturing tone. The novel grew didactic in the final chapter, naming lessons the characters had already earned through pain. Discernment. Noun. The ability to judge well, especially in subtle situations. Choosing fabric for curtains took discernment. In the shop, the samples looked alike until she held them beside the window and watched the grain change. Carping. Adjective. Finding fault in a petty, repeated way. His carping about fonts delayed the launch until the designer threatened to revert to plain type. Dichotomy. Noun. A sharp split into two opposed sides. They faced the dichotomy of speed versus care on the icy road and chose care. Prudent. Adjective. Careful and sensible about avoiding needless risk. It was prudent to test the ice with a stick before letting the dog run ahead across the pond. Reinforce. Verb. To make an idea or structure stronger through support. The mentor reinforced the importance of preparation by walking through a real scenario where a small oversight had derailed an otherwise solid plan. Languid. Adjective. Slow and relaxed, often from heat or tiredness. In the languid afternoon, the river moved like thick glass, and even the children's laughter seemed softened by the heavy honeyed air. Laudable. Adjective. Worthy of praise in aim or effort. His goal was laudable, to feed every kid on the route, even if the van needed brakes sooner than the budget allowed. Officious. Adjective. Eager to offer unwanted advice or meddling help. The officious neighbor lectured them on mulch while their gutters still overflowed. Encompass. Verb. To include or cover a wide range of things. The job began to encompass far more than design, from late-night customer calls to careful budgeting that kept the small studio afloat. Jeremiad. Noun. A long, mournful complaint about what is wrong. His email became a jeremiad about potholes, late buses, and trash day skipped twice. Disparate. Adjective. So different in kind that they are hard to compare or unite. The committee blended disparate traditions into one festival, pairing brass bands with quiet tea ceremonies and hoping the schedule would not feel like two unrelated events. Avert. Verb. To prevent something bad from happening. She caught the toddler's sleeve and averted a tumble down the porch steps, then laughed with relief as the wind snapped the screen door behind them. Empirical. Adjective. Based on observation or experiment, not on guesswork alone. They ran an empirical test, 2 soils, same seeds, and they logged what sprouted each week. Consign. Verb. To hand something over to another person's care, often permanently. They consigned damaged goods to the salvage bin without a second glance. Scathing. Adjective. Criticizing someone or something very harshly. The review was scathing about the film's pacing, comparing the second act to waiting for a late train in an empty station with broken departure boards. That's everything for this session. If this helped you, subscribe for more. See you next time.